because when I left, so at the airport, kind of a sad trophy I have is the fact that
I'm so shaky. Someone record
I make
this.
baby sounds. One of the things that goes on is that I fly so many miles a year. How many people have never been on a plane before? But there are some people that have never been on a plane before. I'm not asking that and being like, you know, teasing you. There are people that have never been on a plane. They get scared. But it's actually safer to be in a plane than in a car. Yeah? Groovy. Especially in Hawaii. Why is it safer in Hawaii? A lot of tourist drivers. You should come to LA. Ooh. You know what's funny in LA? People buy these cars, these fast like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and I mean, where are you gonna go with it? You're in traffic all the time.
Yeah, not much.
You know what I'm talking about. That little baby's been on the 405. But, airplanes, yes. So, I sounded like the horn in Lord of the Rings, like to announce, like, they're coming. I know they're coming. So I fly about 100,000 miles a year. And so because of that, that gives you certain, like, you know, treehouse privileges at the airport, which is kind of cool because it's like, hey, if I'm going to spend 100,000 miles of my life in one of your planes, I would like to have a good time. One of the things that I thought would happen if you fly 100,000 miles a year is that your bags get to you and whip you when you go somewhere. They didn't. And so when I landed and I went over and I was like, hey, listen, I don't have my bags. My bags have everything in them. And I need them. And so they go, well, here's a little like card, and you can go shopping and get stuff. And then just give me the, you know, send in the stuff, and they'll be like, oh, okay, he bought this, he bought a Fullmetal Alchemist doll, and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll just reimburse you. It doesn't say the limit. So I was like, okay, it says essentials. While I would think clothing's essential, I did go to a beach one time where it was totally not. But I'm not at that beach. And you can't unsee some things. But, and so I went to the store and I bought clothing and I bought stuff. And I'm not Pretty Womaning it. I'm not going in there and like, you know, in that montage when she comes out, she's in a different dress, and then the guy's like, he goes back into the dress, like, you know, that whole thing. I wasn't doing that. I'm the kind of guy that when I go shopping, I know my size. Unless it's Banana Republic. But generally, I know my size. But that's a weird cut on those pants. Anyway, that's a whole different. So, when I go to the store, I know my... I'm a straight guy, by the way. Just because I like to go shopping. I like clothes. And I like shoes. And sunglasses. And that's okay. Right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Just because I have feminine hands doesn't mean I don't have testosterone coursing through me. That's the baby. The baby's my spirit animal. No, that's not manly. It doesn't help my case. I'm sorry, baby. You can't be my spirit animal. I'm sorry. My spirit animal is that bloody rabbit back there. Hi.
Awesome.
Wow. So, it's like you ran into a box of like Jello pudding pops or something, like the fruit flavor. You see, you open up the freezer and there's Jello pudding pops, and you take a drink and you get sleepy. Anyway, so clothing shopping. Yes. So I went and I got clothes. And so I'm just like getting clothes. I'm like, I need a pair of shorts. I need a pair of blah, blah, blah. And I did this on a Wednesday, and I got like, okay, my bag, because they're like, we promise, sir, your bags are going to be on the flight tonight, and it'll get to you tonight. And so I was like, okay, great. So I only got a couple of things. Santa didn't bring my bag. So Thursday, I go back to the Ala Moana Center, and then I got more clothing. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna stock up, because I don't know if this bag's coming, because 2 days in a row, they're like, your bags are coming, they're totally coming. And they're not there. I'm looking up in the sky, I don't see any bags. And so I just get more clothes. And then they tell me this morning the bag's coming. I woke up, I called them at like 5:30 in the morning. You're like, why are you up at 5:30 in the morning? It's because I am on LA time. So like I am waking up super early in the morning and I'm going back to sleep. And the sun wakes up and goes, ah! Todd, you scared me. I'm like, I know, I'm awake. And so my bags finally arrived, but now I have all these clothes and these receipts. A lot of them. Because I didn't know, maybe my bags weren't going to be here for 20 days. So I needed these things to last 20 days, right? So I've got some receipts to send in. And then I called and I said, hey, just out of curiosity, what's the limit? Just, yeah, I tripled that limit. So, yeah. But I like the things I got. I do enjoy them. So anyway, so that was what I did. And so also I went to, dang it, she taught me. Hanauma Bay. You just say it fast. There you go. Hanauma Bay. And I have, you know how when you play a video game and you get the map, you get the map so you can see where you're gonna go in the video game. My back looks like a map. Because it's the places where I didn't get the sunscreen. So my back looks like a map of Mordor. Just blood red. No, it's not that bad. It's better now. Just don't touch my back. No, it's fine. It's just like, because I got the spray stuff, but it was supremely windy yesterday. And so like, I'm spraying it, and it's not getting on me, but the guy next to me is like, so I'm spraying it, and so it's fine. But it's just so funny, it's like, I now know where I need to stretch. Because like, I'm reaching everywhere. And then my back's like, So, but it was fun. And I freaked out. I got freaked out in the water, because I don't snorkel or scuba dive very often. And the last time I was here, if you guys were here last time, I almost died. So, yes, 2 years ago, because I don't think snuba-ing is really legal, but they let me do it. So snuba-ing is different than scuba-ing. So this panel is about, we learn things from each other. You teach me some things, I'm gonna teach you some things. How many people have never heard of snuba-ing? That's right, because it's probably illegal. So what it is basically, let's see how far can I, let me do this. Give me a second, hold on.
Yeah! Don't record this for me, because my phone's gonna die.
Okie dokie, let's go. So, Waluigi. So, snuba-ing is basically scuba-ing without the lessons. You know when you go scuba diving, they make you take lessons on if you want to live. And so with snuba-ing, you don't have to take those lessons. So what they do is you don't wear a tank. The tank is on like a dinghy that's floating on the water. And there's a big pipe that's going down from it, and it's connecting to you. And so I've got the wetsuit on, and I've got the weight belt on, and everything like that. And so the only lessons that you get is the guy going, okay, there's 4 rules. Don't breathe in through your nose. Don't throw up. Don't, like 2 other silly things, like don't, turn the Hot Pocket over after 60 seconds. So, some weird thing that I'm like, well, okay, whatever. In my head, you know that little guy in your head or little woman in your head that says things like, tells you when you shouldn't do something? That little guy was like, hey, listen. And I didn't listen. And so then you literally go in the water. That's it. You get 4 lessons, not even lessons, 4 rules, and he's saying them super fast. It's like that guy at the end that goes like, no purchases here, all they go to 18 years old. That guy, that's how fast he's saying these rules. I think at one point I even said, wait, what was the 3rd one? And he goes, you'll be fine. So I'm first. So then I go down, and again, I get freaked out, not because I'm scared of water or anything, because like when you go underwater, your brain is like, don't breathe in. But you know, you're going against your instincts, and you're having to breathe in to live. Because the brain loves oxygen, by the way. And so I go down underwater, and like you can go 20 feet down, snoobing, about 20 feet. And so like I'm exploring, and the current's taking me around. It's kind of scary because sometimes, does anyone have dreams of like being deep in the water, or like looking down and you can't see the bottom of the water, and it's kind of, that's right, you know what I'm talking about, baby. You know what I'm talking about? And so you can't see the bottom, and so it's kind of creepy. That's what it's like, but it's cold, and I've got this little thing, I'm like putting food up into the business, into the water, and the fish are coming, they're eating it, they're right here, and they're swimming around, and that's cool, and you hear like little crackling of them eating the food. And there's coral everywhere, and the guy's like, don't touch this, don't touch that, but he's touching the stuff, and I'm like, why can you touch it? Like, it's the same thing, like, why are you allowed to touch it? Because you told me the 4 rules really fast, and so he's touching the stuff. And then, so I'm down there 20 feet, so 20 feet is about, I mean, would you say like it's from here to the ceiling, maybe? More or less? More? Red Hood tells me it's more. More? It's 4 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so like double this height. Okay, good. 4 of you. Okay, tall, right? Okay. So yeah, you're how tall are you? Okay, so 4. Okay, so a little bit shorter than this actually. Man, I wish you were smaller because. Okay, that helps. Okay, so 20 feet, so I'm down. So it's still a significant amount of, you know, for someone that never does this. Well, I breathe out, and then I go to breathe in, and nothing comes in. No air, 0 air, and I've blown out all my air. Now I start to freak out, because what does your body love? What does your body love? Oxygen, that's right. I just had some. I just did it again, it was great. So, I was breathing in and nothing was happening. I'm flipping out. The guy's not around. He's tending to other people that are swimming around. And so I look up, and the water is far away from me because I have no air. And so then I start swimming, and I'm going as fast as I can, and all of a sudden white just starts going around my I mean, I have 0 air, and I start like just gulping in salt water because I'm like, here we go. If I'm gonna go out big. And so, that, you know, it's just going like, go to sleep, go to sleep. And I hear Germany in my head yelling at me about how she never did it. And so at the last second, I like boost up, I get a power up, I get a fire flower, and I boost up. And then, I guess it would technically be a red mushroom, but, you know. And so I boost up, and then I'm like, oh my God, breathing hard. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm living. And the devil's like, shoot. I'm naughty. And so I got up there, and I was getting air. And then I looked over, and the guy's like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because he goes, the hose that was on my oxygen tank just popped off. Just came off. That's why there was no oxygen. It just came off. And he goes, wow, that's never happened before. And I go, is it because this is illegal? But so it popped off. And then he goes, do you want to, are you ready to go again? I'm like, maybe I can have a minute or two.
A mermaid saved you!
Of a Vine video to just recuperate, is that okay? So, and then the whole rest of the trip he's asking me like, hey man, are you having a good time? You okay? I'm like, yeah, leave me alone. Talk to my lawyer. But he makes you sign a liability thing. I'm telling you, this is not right. So don't snuba, folks. Don't do it. Especially if you've never done it before. And so, but when I was at Hanauma Bay, I just snorkeled, but it was still scary because like before you know it, bam, you're surrounded by coral. And you're not supposed to touch the coral because the guy says don't touch the coral because it's the food source of the fishes. But you want to touch it because you're like, oh, coral. And you see the little spindly, spiny things underneath. The fish are touching it. And you're like, you fish are touching it. I want to touch it. And I'm underwater with you. And so I didn't touch it. But it's like when you're surrounded by it, how do you get out of the coral? You gotta touch it. You gotta touch it. Because it's so shallow, the water. I think I'm 100 feet deep. I'm like this deep. And so, but meaning I can't just like get out and like step over it.